that you see this, please state your name in full and spell your last name for the court's record.
Dennis Sidney West, W-E-S-T.
Go ahead, Councilman.
Good morning, Mr. West.
Good morning.
Do you know Kevin West?
Yes, I do.
And how do you know him?
He is my son.
Is that him sitting right there?
That is him sitting there.
Mr. West, where did you live when Mr. West was born?
In Eugene, Oregon.
Okay. And that's where the kids were born and raised?
Yes.
And who were you married to at the time?
Lori Wollenweber.
And that's her name now?
That's her name now, is Lori Jensen, then Lori West.
All right. And so you lived in Eugene. When did you start living in Eugene?
1960, I was brought from Cody, Wyoming, with my parents.
And then you got married to Lori, had kids?
Correct.
Right. And how long did you stay in Eugene?
Till 1989.
What happened
We divorced Lori, and then decided to travel across the country. I was a critical care RN, and I wanted to work elsewhere and see what life was like.
Okay. And so, where did you end up living after that? Or where do you live now?
I live in Bend, Oregon right now.
And over the years, now sounds like you've been gone for a number of years, right?
Correct.
Okay. Have you maintained contact with Kevin?
Yes, frequently.
How do you have contact with him?
Well, phone, we go hunting, fishing, of course, talking on the phone all the time regarding just about anything and everything. We just have got a very close relationship.
Do you know who Marcy is?
Yes, I do.
When did you first meet Marcy?
Met Marcy in 2000.
And what were the circumstances?
I was getting married to my wife, we are now divorced. Gay.
Okay.
Her name was Gay, G-A-Y.
All right. And so Marcy came to your wedding?
Yes.
And how was she introduced to you at the time?
Just Marcy. This is Marcy.
Okay. What was the relationship to Kevin at the time?
I believe that they were boyfriend and girlfriend at the time.
Okay. Did you go to their wedding?
Yes, I did.
Do you remember when that was roughly?
Well, it was quite a few years ago. I know it was in the spring, I believe.
And now, you're where they got married, they had kids?
Yes.
Do you know who the kids are?
Yes.
Who are they?
Ted and Megan.
Have you had a lot of contact
Oh,
with them?
yeah, they're my dreams.
And so, were you familiar with the house they lived in last, the Washulo house?
Yes, very familiar.
How many times have you been there?
I couldn't tell you how many. A lot.
Did you, over the years, did you get to know Marcy very well?
Yes, I did.
Okay, were you close?
She'd always give me a hug when I left or when I arrived, and come anytime.
And so when you would go to their house, would you stay overnight?
Yes, I would.
Do you know about when they moved into that house?
Oh, I can't remember.
How many years do you think they lived there? Let's try that.
I don't know, 4 or 5, maybe 6 years.
Okay, so maybe in your recollection, moved in there about 2017, 2018, something
Yeah,
like that?
somewhere.
And how often would you stay overnight there?
Usually I would stay there for 2 or 3 days. Drive back and forth from Bend was long, so usually come over around the Friday, go home Sunday.
And from the time they moved there till the time they moved out, I think I asked you how often you stayed there. You described the length. Did you stay once a year, twice a year? How many times a year did you stay?
Multiple times. Usually whenever I went hunting, I would stay there, and we went hunting every year together. It'd be 2 or 3 nights sometimes.
Okay. So, and again, would it be like every month, every other month? What do you think?
Usually, at least once or twice a month I'd be there.
Okay, for a couple nights each time?
Correct.
When was the last time you stayed there? I mean, before Marcy passed.
Okay, it would have been in probably September, just before we went hunting, or we were gonna go
September 2023?
to, right.
Were you able to observe, I guess, kind of the nature of their relationship?
Yes, it had become a little, not as open or anything. Kevin would try and give her kisses on the cheek, but she did that most of their married life. She didn't like outward motion at all. She just didn't. That was her demeanor. But sometimes we would leave without saying goodbye. We just said it's okay, that she's doing her thing. And she'd be looking, 9 times out of 10, she loved the computer and would be watching what the kids were doing, their schoolwork, what they had plans. She was a hell of a planner. I mean, she knew exactly what was going on with Megan and Ted.
Now, this relationship, you said it wasn't as open. How would you, was it a good, I mean, how would you describe it? Is it a good relationship or not so good? What do you say?
It was congenial. It was no, I never saw him having a fight in front of me. I did, the only thing I did notice that there wasn't as much touching. But then again, when I did notice the touching, it caught my eye and I thought, oh, that's great, you know. But we'd go out on the deck and all 3 of us, including the kids, would just sit mostly in the summer, of course. After working in the yard, have a beer, or she would always have her Pepsi. She loved Pepsi. And we just sit there and talk for a while.
Now, the last time you stayed there, where did you sleep?
I always slept in the guest room,
Do you remember
which is right across from their room.
Okay. So you go up the hallway?
Go up the stairways, and that was the first bedroom on the right.
And would you be aware of where they slept?
Oh, yes.
And where did they sleep?
Directly across from that bedroom. They always had their door cracked about this much, basically for animals to come and go.
Okay. All right. And so, were you ever aware of a time when you were there where they were not sleeping in the same room?
No.
How did you hear about Marcy passing?
I got a call from Kevin Valines at 7:30 in the morning on the day she passed, which was the 8th, if my numbers are right. And he told me that, don't know what happened, that she had a seizure in bed, that Kevin...
Objection, hearsay.
Staying. So Kevin Valines called you up about 7:30 in the morning and told you?
And told me, correct.
And you knew Kevin Valines?
Yes, I did.
How did you know him?
We went hunting every year, hiked into the wilderness area up east of town, and we went to Idaho for 2 weeks, about every 2 years for 13, 14, 15 years.
Oh, okay. And friends of Kevin's, I take it?
Yes.
And besides you and Kevin and other Kevin, who else would go if anybody?
To hunting?
Yeah.
Oh, Scotty would go. We had a tremendous relationship with all of us enjoying and hunting. And we'd hike together into the woods, into the mountains of Idaho. So we did it together. We enjoyed each other's company very much.
I'm going to kind of go back just a little bit. In the time you've known Kevin, we all kind of know our kids. Was he kind of a messy kid, a tidy kid? How would you describe
Objection,
him?
relevance.
Stay.
When you went to the house, did you eat there?
Yes,
Who cooked?
Kevin,
Every time?
every time.
Did you see anybody cleaning in the house?
Yes,
Who did the cleaning?
Kevin.
Objection, relevance, Your Honor.
Let the answer stand.
So you get the notice from Kevin Valines. Where were you at the time?
With Kevin Lyons?
No,
Oh,
when Kevin called you at
I was in
7:30 on-
Bend, Oregon.
Bend, Oregon, okay. And did you have any contact with your son Kevin that day?
Yes, I called Kevin on his phone. I talked to Scotty, who was driving Kevin to get his daughter. And he said he wasn't able to talk.
Objection, hearsay.
I'll leave the answer to stand now, but don't relate things that other people said.
Okay,
So you said that he was on his way to Seattle, is that what you're saying?
yes.
Okay. And how was he on the phone? How was he emotionally? Describe his emotions.
Basically, crying, distraught. I can't talk. And I said, okay, I'll call you later.
Did you see him like that before?
No, not like that.
So you had the phone call with him, and what did you do after that? I mean, with regard to Kevin and the situation, what did you do after that?
Well, I contemplated whether or not I was going to drive up there. I knew that there were some storms coming in, and I have to be careful. I believe it was about 1 o'clock, I decided I was going to drive to see Kevin. And I took off to Washougal, went over Sandy Am, down through Detroit, and then Salem and up. And got to Kevin's about 7:30 because I had some truck trouble, and kind of limped into his house about 7:30 that night.
Okay. And so you get there, how was he when you got there at 7:30 that night?
He really, all he wanted to do was hug first and cry.
And was it steady like that, or did it go up and down? I mean, how can you describe his range of emotions?
It kind of was up and down depending on what we talked about regarding their relationship, Marcy, myself, hunting, trying to get him to get his mind off what had occurred, which was very difficult. Basically, just trying to keep him comfortable and calm. But he cried a lot.
Did he have moments where he'd smile?
Not a lot.
What were the moments?
There were a few moments.
Now, when you were at the house that first day, did anybody else come by the house that you recall?
Well, I got there late, and there was no one else that showed up that night that I know of.
Okay. Where did you spend most of your time with Kevin and the family when you got there?
Of course, we took my stuff up to my bedroom. Ted always helped to do that. Then we basically went out into our fun area and sat and talked.
Okay, the fun area being?
It would, fun area be in the garage,
Okay.
in which Kevin and I helped, and which I helped him build. It's kind of what you classify as the man cave of today.
Mhm.
But Marcy enjoyed being out there with us and sitting with us. It was just we had all of our deer heads out there. For those people that don't like deer heads, I'm sorry, but we do. And we had that's where we had our cocktails and where we drank, where we had Pepsi, where we had
Narrative.
water.
Sorry, I'll sustain the objection. The question's been answered.
Thank you.
Listen to the question asked, answer that question, wait for the next question.
Are you familiar with a deer with a bottle opener?
Yeah.
Okay, what do you know about that?
All I know is that he got it. It was in his room, and he looked at it, and he said, "Look what I've got for our bottle opener." Never used it.
Just kind of a joke.
Chip.
Now, how long did you stay when you came up?
At that time,
Yes.
I stayed most of the month with Kevin. What day I left was after the ice storm, sometime 4 or 5 days after the ice storm.
While you were there, was there any discussion on what would happen to the bedroom furniture?
None.
Are you aware of the bedroom furniture leaving while you're there?
No.
What about any of the bedding, like sheets, comforter or something like that, are you aware of anything happening with that?
Yes, I'm very aware. For a couple of days, he complained about he can't be up there and laying on that anymore. Well, finally I got tired of hearing that. I went up, folded it all up, put it in a black plastic bag and threw it in the garbage.
Okay, so when you say you gathered it all up, what is it? What did you put in the garbage?
I put in a quill. I folded it. I like to make sure the air's out of it, and I folded it like I would fold my sleeping bag. And so it fit into the garbage bag, and so it fit into the garbage outside. And then I tied it up, put it in the garbage. And that's about it. I mean, there was nothing outstanding about it.
Was it clean when you saw it?
Yes, it was.
Like somebody had washed it?
No.
Now, so you're there till, you say after the ice storm or before the ice storm?
No, after.
After. So were you there when the family gathered for some kind of event around the 18th or later?
I was.
What was that?
That was we wanted to celebrate Kevin, his birthday, and I believe it was a couple days after the 18th. I believe I said it was the 18th that his birthday was on, and we had the party then, but I believe I was wrong on the dates, like I've been wrong on a couple of them. But no, it was basically the family wanting to celebrate Kevin. It wasn't for everybody in the world, it wasn't for the firemen, it wasn't for anybody, it was just for our family.
Okay, just kind of your immediate family for the most part?
Correct.
And what was the mood like at this gathering?
It was solemn at first, and then once people started talking, we'd start remembering past things that we did. Ted and Megan fishing, or Ted going hunting, all of us sitting in the back, them going camping at the coast, and basically tried to do everything we could to keep it on something enjoyable in life.
Do you know who Cynthia Ward is?
I do now, yes.
Okay. When did you first become aware of her?
On the night of the gathering of the family.
Okay. You had not seen her before?
I couldn't pick her out of the lineup.
Had you heard about her before?
No, I had not.
And what's your recollection? How was she introduced to the group, if you recall?
Well, it really wasn't to the group, it was individual, and that's all it was for me, was just, hi, I'm Cynthia. I said, okay, I'm Dennis, I'm his dad.
Do you know why she was there?
I was told she was invited, and that's all I knew why she was there.
Okay. But it was kind of a gathering for close family, just a small
Right.
group.
Objection leading.
Finish the question.
It's just kind of a gathering for immediate family. Did you wonder why she was there?
Overrule the objection.
I did not know why she was initially until I was told that it was Kevin's girlfriend.
How did you find out?
Just general circulation of communication, people talking. No one specifically that I can remember.
Did you ever talk to Kevin about that?
After the fact, probably the next day.
Did he try to hide it from you?
No.
All right, that's all the questions I have. Just hold on right there.
Cross-examination.
Good morning, Mr. West.
Hello.
You indicated on direct examination that you stayed there for the majority of the month, is that correct?
Most of January.
What day would you have arrived? You would have arrived on January 8th then, correct, around 7 p.m.?
Correct.
And most of the month of January, from the 8th, you were there then also then on the 20th, when the 20th, when this gathering would have happened.
Correct.
When this gathering, that would have been at the garage where Cynthia was there, but none of Kevin's other friends was there, correct?
Correct.
And you drove up from Eugene, correct?
Correct.
And at the time in 2024, were you retired?
I am now, yes, I was.
And you drove up your personal vehicle?
Correct.
And you don't have to give me too many details, but what's the make and model of your vehicle?
It's an F-150, F-150, Lariat, four-door truck.
Were you were still at the house then on the 23rd?
Well, I believe I was, yes.
And you were then still at the house on the 31st?
That I don't remember.
Were you there when Detective Dean Tellison and Detective Zapata were there interviewing your son?
I don't ever remember seeing them. I couldn't pick them out of a lineup.
So you don't recall seeing them on the 23rd then of January?
No, I don't.
And the West residence, it's 4-bedroom, correct? Is it, there's Ted's room, correct?
There's Ted's room,
Megan's room?
Megan's room, their room,
And
guest
then there's like a
room.
multimedia room?
There's a guest room and a multimedia that is also used for other people to sleep.
And so when you would go and stay there, you even called it your room, there's a specific place that you would go and you would sleep.
Of course.
And so if everyone was there occupying the house, they would all be in their respective bedrooms, more than likely.
More than likely.
Okay, thank you, no further questions.
Redirect?
No redirect.
Get a witness to excuse? You're free to go, don't discuss your testimony with any other potential witness.